Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So, wanna tell me who you are?
Damn it.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember? Oh, you're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped, or injured, or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what. There's no way I'm leaving without him, so I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him? If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please? Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. What do you want to know? He's the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is. Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean? Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you. All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen. You're welcome. Always happy to help. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? You really don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber. What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul. Trust me. Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al... Great. So you're ready to go look for Al? My hero. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
It's like... What the... May have been just having some trouble there for a second. Yeah, that's fine. Alright.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise."
Hell shit.
Paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place. Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation, or a warning. Al Worth.
Yeah, very much fitting that golden statue. Roman woman pose of lamentation. The question is like, there's a lot of just gold everywhere. Although I'm guessing in this case it's cursed gold. An ancient Roman mosaic depicting godlike figure of turning man into gold. No. Archaeologist insight. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. Can't go there. Yes, they had a bunch of the ones that can be. I wonder why you can move them in this time. So I know this has a game with a time loop element. But how that's implemented and at what point? The question is, it basically said those who were judged. Oh, can I like Uber kill this person? Like, can I chuck him off? Nope, not easily. The stone tablet that is not accessible.
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options: death, that godforsaken doorway into the past.
Uh-oh.
I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now and find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
To do the running again. At least it was pretty close. I don't think there's an unstuck button. So, dude got stuck in a time loop with... Couldn't figure his way out.
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options. Death, and that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
Is by starting the portal that you get, like... Alright, quest tracking, origins, figure out the return, the original time. So if it's a time loop, is there actual time? Oh, fuck.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina? Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime? You're not from around here, are you? Oh, I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you, and what were you doing in the shrine? What? I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's a little strange. And you've just done it again. You're a sly one, aren't you? One more time. Who are you, and what were you doing in that shrine? No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, you know, not right in the head? That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine. Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's...
Is
well,
gold.
It's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming? Follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now. Only 23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your pretty new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking her to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's... it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leeked cabbage and wheat. That one usually gets a chuckle.
The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia. She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the Forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the Magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Hilarious. You're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the Magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you.
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment, it being election day. Malleolus, of course. If old man Sentius can't even protect his own daughter, how can we trust him? I think it's gone on long enough, and Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected. Old man Sentius got you already, did he? Well, I'm not talking to people in his faction. Confituare. Hey, Horatius. How's it feel knowing your man's doomed to lose the election today?
If you're trying to goad me into an argument, it won't work. I'm a stoic, remember?
If the old man couldn't even keep his own daughter safe, how can anyone trust him to keep us safe, eh?
Why do I get the feeling you lot had something to do with Centilla's disappearance?
That's it. Blame everyone but yourself.
If I find out you did something to that poor sweet girl, not even the Golden Rule is gonna protect you. Got it?
As if I'll be afraid of you, little man.
Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please. I expect the Magistrate wants to brief you about the Golden Rule. It shouldn't take too long. He's busy preparing for the election later today. Follow me. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the Golden Rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether they'd
This
done anything
place has
wrong.
become a thoroughfare.
One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Rule is exactly 10 times
Whatever
worse.
are you
The
wearing?
magistrate can explain the rest. He's up these stairs.
Oh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want? You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing god who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent god would let my sister go missing on his or her watch? Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought. I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving. I suppose we will. Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone. I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that if you'd been invited in here and introduced properly. What are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that? Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind me, why are we having this conversation? I trust you can see yourself out.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? A curious name, to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of Athena. You must be a woman of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure. Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
Thanks, Optimal Bloom. Yeah, sleep well.
Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months.
Then what
22
did
complete
you
strangers
get
brought
here?
together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin? Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one."
Which is the
You can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid.
Blasphemy doesn't seem to trigger it.
The sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions. Please, ask away.
So I guess there's multiple sins that are going to be happening, and you have to dismantle multiple of them. These questions will be available later on.
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries. I'm glad you agree. The key things to remember are that we have laws forbidding treason and blasphemy, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson and so on. I have made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies in the shadows. I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you. You see, in my search for a way to save my people, I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you? 2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please, tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become
Question is, if somebody sins,
of this
what
city?
is there then a time limit on like when
I have imagined it, our downfall 1,000 times, but it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
what is the trigger immediate? Or and does it encounter us? Or is it the reason that Al died was he, I mean, it sounds like he committed suicide, which I guess then locked him in?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal. In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future? Ah, I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you? Well, thank you for your candor, I suppose. Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me many friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot. Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is anymore? What's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes. the less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
Hmm.
Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you, I'm about to sacrifice my own life to ensure these people have a second chance. What reason could you possibly have to suspect me, of all people? I'm glad you think so. Without trust, without each other, we won't be able to prevent what is about to happen. Ah, so you know about that already. It's a devastating loss, of course, but that was over 3 weeks ago, and whatever happened to her, it didn't break the golden rule, so I don't think it's connected with our imminent demise. Still, if you happen to find her and return her to me, I would be eternally grateful. If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense? Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule? Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately. Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right. If you're snooping around in my possessions, you're wasting your time.
Oh, look, you're back. How... I try...
Anything else?
citizen.
Let's drop a save. But being an outsider does, if
the many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
So stealing is a method that breaks the time.
Salve, friend. Oh, I guess how much did I drink last? Oh, and if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to test, but don't worry. All right.
Okay, so I kind of need you to. I've fucked with the time once. So stealing
49 melodies fetch again.
is one of the ways that triggers. So if somebody steals, time loop is triggered, and it's pretty immediate as well. I will save here now. What do you get?
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step. Can't talk long. Family's from Seleucia on Tigris, Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions. The 6th. The one they call Ironclads. Same way as everyone else. Because we're all in grave danger. Is it not obvious? Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. Stupid. Going to have to improvise now.
That sounds like you're gonna kill somebody.
If you were dealing with what I am, you wouldn't be either.
Okay.
None of your business. In Troiti ipsum commensula. If we have to. If I did, do you think we'd be having the... I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people. Then you know what I'm talking about. I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong. While we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking? Like they're waiting. Of course I am. Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to No. What?
So he's on his way to potentially go kill somebody for some reason. So you can get here through 2 different ways.
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called silphium, but that Culus cumbulatus decius won't give it to me.
Yes,
It's too late. She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally, I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant, and I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule. So all I could do is come back here and just watch her. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath. Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back, get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day or in the next hour. And I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum Fututo and scratching his eyes out. Then you'd better get me that silphium quickly.
Hello? Hello? My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up. I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure. No! I would never! They said I did it more than once, but I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy. Yes. They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter. What does it say? My treasure! My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. He said if anything ever happened to him, he gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns, But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady. She's a nice lady. Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot. You're mean.
I mean, I probably do need to test that dude at some point. I did do it, Dooley. So he's been locked up here. Oh, shut. My brain's also like just
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
getting
For the
tired.
last 20 days, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
Greetings and salutations. Greetings. I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of... and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know. Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. We will have much time. That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after... I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way. Nothing... Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate. Shh! Not so loud! What are you playing at? Have you not been told about the last attempt? Oh, then I suppose this duty... Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out. I admire your enthusiasm, my friend, but please allow me to explain why this is inadvisable. There was an attempt, made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place, and so I say it is best to not even
Oh, so trying to escape triggers the golden rule. That's fucked. Or is it perhaps the method of escape triggers it? My assumption is that these would stop time.
Story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the fort. You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule, and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all? I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree? A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you. I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares. And drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select, and we began making out. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa. Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
Which is basically identical to what happened to us. Benevolent stranger, Karen, and then who set us up to go down this way. To find Al, but the time we had jumped down, we were already fucked. Wow. I'm tired.
Anything you like. I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Okay.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. You arrived on a sad day, friend. What with Julia's death? I wish we could have met under Well, I'm an architect. Or at least help out with repairs and try to... But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place. I like the... Well, help, but... Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all. It's Greek. I'm not sure. It could mean that the Romans who first started building here were just copying Greek architecture, which they do all the time. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question, who really built this place? And could it be far older than any of us imagine? If only there was a way we could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell. Gladly. Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city and distribute it all across the chasm. It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas, and the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake, and allows us to fish and farm. Hey, not so loud. Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it. You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually, that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the Golden Rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose we'll never know. Of course. You wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I'd tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the Golden Rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me. Some people say it's divine, the work of a god, but I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me. Like it's distinctly human. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called god doesn't seem to care, which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown god doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you? Fair enough. Some people, and good. Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power. And it seems leaving may not... Good question. It's best if I say no more, but... Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company. Hey, nothing gets by you, huh? Sorry, that was mean. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagus, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for that. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to you. So I hid who I was for. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly. Needless to say, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi. Nice of you to say, but in any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least I thought that... it's not just graffiti. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists. Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, Eventually, my secret admirer is going to... What? I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around someone who lives or works in... But if you find them, please come back. This area is private. Please leave.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
I'll ask you again. Please leave.
Oh yeah, I'm leaving.
Salve. Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't... You mean, how did I end up here? All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of
It's
people.
possible to be one of the cultists.
Legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it. And I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin. So I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl?" Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber. No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was a bloody Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank not far from here with nothing in the world but a... I couldn't agree more. I mean, sure, I'd lost a few thousand denarii, but I've already made it back, and this place is a veritable treasure trove. Certainly. All I ask is... Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Hear what? Are you sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. She claimed the statues were whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again. But I digress. Do you want this silphium or not? Well, if you did that, you'd break the golden rule. Do you think I don't know a bluff when I see one? That's hardly my... Well? Don't you dare. Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside.
The many shall The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
From that implication, it means that I can potentially bring it back with me through time? This is my guess from that. Alright. Ah, it did work.
Salve, friend. Oh, is that right? Can't have you. But listen, you see, live by our law here. Oh.
Oh!
I'm just gonna try to kill myself and see what happens. Okay, so you can bring things between loops.
Ixion turns.
Okay. Question, if I give it to her, does it reset the fact that I had it? Yeah, the health is slowly regenerating.
What are you doing in here? What? Yulia? Yulia. Hopefully in a moment. That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact thing? And at this exact moment? Are you some kind of oracle? A what? I'm sorry, I must have. That was like the gods. You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud of yourself. She might even be able to thank you herself enough, and maybe she can tell us who poisoned. In the meantime, I'm happy to help you with whatever it is you need. I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to be straight with you. I'm not a physician. This is Nevia's clinic. I've just been filling in ever since she disappeared. I'm tired and out of my depth and miserable all the time, but I'd rather take this on myself than let one of you lot mess it up. Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic long before any of us. Are kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo for healing kind of makes sense. My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced the Roman way more than I would have liked and turned into an awful philanderer. So I waited for the right time to take what was mine and disappear. And then the fires came. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings, coins and gemstones, and the moment his back was turned, I ran. I could barely see for the smoke, and the streets were full of people trampling each other. I ran for the river, like everyone else, and leapt in. The next thing I remember, I was waking up on a riverbank, not far from here. I wish. Some people here need proper medical care, not the half-baked, hanging by a thread excuse for treatment I'm giving them. Just don't get sick or injured here. I'll do my best to treat you, but I'm out of my depth and dangerously short on everything you can imagine. Oh no. Sorry, I don't mean to worry you, but no, that is definitely not normal. There was one other person who claimed she could hear the statues talking to her. But that was Nevia, and she went a little mad. Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician, but she was the closest thing we had down here. And she was good, too. Until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem, a real thorn in the paw situation. One of my patients is suffering from terrible rheumatism. His joints are inflamed and he's in constant pain. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off, and I worry he'll end up losing his temper and lashing out, and you know what that means. I just know Nevia would know how to treat him, assuming she's still alive. But nobody seems to know how to get into the palace. Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, so somebody needs rheumatism. Alright, let's see. I'm assuming I still have this. Okay, so you keep your stuff you've kept. That is bad phrasing.
It's you. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. Was there something you wanted? As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me, it's just not safe for me to talk about it. The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. The gods may be cruel, but Malleolus and Claudia are far crueler. Please, just leave me. Persistent as Nemesis, aren't you? I can tell you. All right. I'd been here about a week. When it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. I could hardly breathe, and I knew I had to get out somehow. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. And then I learned her asking price. 1,000 denarii. She was supposed to be my friend. I told her it would take me, so she suggested I take out a loan from Malleolus. I had to sign an agreement, saying I'd work off the debt over 30 years. But I figured I'd be out of here so soon it wouldn't matter. I paid Aurelia, and she gave me her so-called way out. Do you want to know what it was, Hemlock? Drink this, she said, and you'll be out of here in no time. Of course, I demanded my money back, but she refused. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with those cruel black eyes, and she immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. Only, he didn't seem upset or surprised at all. In fact, he just thanked her. And that's when I realized the two of them had planned the whole thing from the beginning. That's what I said to the magistrate. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for 30 years and there was nothing he could do. I thought about resisting too. But Malleola said if I didn't submit, I'd break the golden rule. And I couldn't be responsible for all those deaths, so he locked me in his villa. Confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest, humiliating outfits while I worked day in. His wife Claudia was just as bad. She said I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean. Those two took everything from me. My hemlock. I just wanted it to be over. Don't you think I know that? I brought it on myself. I trusted one of the most callous human beings I've ever met, and tried to swindle the other. I don't know how I could have been so stupid. Thanks, I suppose. Oh. If that's your idea.
May Apollo keep you safe.
So now that I've...
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune. Salve, stranger. I don't, I'm afraid. But I did overhear Fabia telling Georgius she was headed to the baths not long ago. Malio. Very well.
And this other guy seems quite immoral.
Help! You have to do something. A man arrived in the baths. Real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule. Thank you. I have to hide. What? Ugh. The shrine is collapsed.
Fabia, no! Oh God, she's dead! Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her. Oh, Fabia, why did you have to go in there? Poor sweet girl. I can't believe she is dead. Fabia, I mean. She walked into that empty shrine, and the next moment, the gods are cruel and unjust. She was like a...
But so dying itself does not kill you, or it doesn't start the time loop reset. It just
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is? I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible crimes against the Empire. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest. Is that understood? Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place? A small community. Ha! I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult. Oh, don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, Magna Mater, or Christ. You lot are all the same to me. Always sneaking off to your secret sanctuaries, indoctrinating each other with your little mantras. The Emperor may have tolerated your activities up until now, but after what Quinctius did, those days are numbered. You say that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret? So you admit you're not allowed to leave. Threatening me is not going to help you, but in any case, that sounds an awful lot, and I saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." I take it this is some kind of man. You've clearly been in... Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to... You lot are practicing human sacrifice too. Of course you'd say that, but that's what your kind do. It's all clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal. They just can't see what they've become. However, you still have a chance to redeem yourself by telling me where Quinctius is. Do not waste it. Very well. Here's what I know. He's a 40 to 50-year-old man with distinctive eyes, one green and one blue. He's also known to have delusions of grandeur. The Emperor says he and his cult, your cult, are responsible for starting the fire which... Who are you to challenge what the Emperor says? Were you there? Do you have spies? This is your last chance. Do you have any last words? And there's a simple explanation. But if you want, once I'm done with you and Quinctius, I intend to kill every... and I can think of...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
There was some money. The Yankees. There was a... Like if I could have enough money... I mean, telling him where Quintius is not a good idea, I think, either way. Regardless if I find Quintius or not. But he will kill everyone. So, there's a lady that dies, but her death seems inconsequential. Other than technically her die is fine.
Oh. Yulia? Oh no. Alright, I can do that. I'll go.
Oh. So that stops her from dying. Okay, yeah, I've got 300 gold now. Can I zipline now? Ride the zipline. Yeah, I can fucking bypass him.
Name's Rufius. What up?
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
Salve.
Help! You have... A man arrived in the baths. Real nasty. You have to do something. Thank you. I have to hide. What? All right,
Okay, I'm gonna hit the save, and what happens if I go in? I die. So yes, you can trigger the same shite. My assumption is that
Stop right there. Thank you for your service to...
But him doing this is triggering consequences. You know, fuck it, let's like talk to him to try to get him out.
Hello. My friend, he said he gave all up now. My name. You'll go. Hilarious or. What about. You Hannibal said. Bye bye.
Did the dude?
You there? I'm sorry to trouble you, but I couldn't help but notice that fine bow you're carrying. No idea how you managed to get your hands on it, especially in the light of our dear old magistrate's ban. And before you ask, no, I wouldn't dream of trying to buy it from you. I have no use for a wooden bow myself. But I would like to propose a... Tell me, do you have any idea how people here end up as golden statues? And here I was thinking I was the only one to figure it out. In any case, Supposedly, 1 or 2 of those arrows is enough to turn a full-grown man into gold. Now, of course, that is a travesty, a terrible, horrible waste of human life, which has to be stopped. And yet, on the other hand, I can't help but think of a tale told by that Greek fella Aesop, with the ability to transmute organic matter into gold. Use your imagination, and even if we were to split all those riches between... Look, I might have skimmed over that one, but don't be so pedantic. Excellent. So the first question is, how do we get our hands? Now, I have a plan, but first, tell me, are you familiar? No problem. Diana is our goddess of the hunt, the moon, and the underworld. The one thing priests and poets agree on is that she carried with her a golden bow and a quiver of golden arrows. And it just so happens that there is a shrine of Diana in this very forum, with a prominent statue of the goddess herself. And would you like to guess what she's holding in her? Precisely. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in that temple staring at it. Oh, gods, no. Have you tried that with... No. Here's what I propose. You give your bow to me. I cover it in a thin layer of gold leaf. And then you enter the shrine, extinguish the braziers, and under cover of darkness, swap out the fake for the original. But make no mistake, this is a dangerous part. But in my experience, all the best adventures begin... Now, you must... Because the gods would see you, of course. I'm more of a... So, are you in, Pop? Wonderful. This is a and here we are, a gold leaf bow. Now I've gone and unlocked the Shrine of Peace just at the end of the street on...
Oh no, I think it's... he's implying there, yeah.
You, partner? Do you have the bow? Wonderful. Just go ahead and slide it under the door. And yet you did. And now, here we are. Yeah. No, technically, I never said that. I said, if we were to split all those riches between the... It's hardly my fault if you can't tell the difference. Oh, I do love them. Not a very effective threat, is it? Your second problem is the golden rule. What are you gonna do? The bow. Now. I would reconsider my... But you're stuck in there with a hornet's nest. You know, some say it takes 27 hornets. Let's find out how...
Oh yeah, because it makes biological matter.
My beloved Galatea, I write this so that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad, or a monster, but I don't care what they think. Everything I'm doing here, my beloved Galatea, I write this so that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad or a monster, but I don't care what they think. Everything I'm doing here, I'm doing for you. I'll start at the beginning. Soon after my arrival here, as I walked down a corridor lined with golden statues, I thought I heard a whisper behind me, a rasp of air, as if vocal cords of metal strained to say a word or two. I tried to dismiss the idea, tried to concentrate on my work as the city's medic, but that tortured whisper haunted me. Weeks later, in the hallway to the bathhouse, I heard it again and found myself drawn to the statue of a Roman woman wearing a stola. Her face was contorted with anguish and fear, and, disturbingly, it was as if she was looking right at me. As I walked past her, I heard that strained whisper again, and turning back, I discovered that even though I had moved, she was still looking right into my soul. That was when it dawned on me. This was no statue. This was a woman trapped within that golden prison. Naturally, I told the others, but when I could not reproduce the results of my experiment, they would not believe me. But from that moment on, I knew the full horror of this place. Immobilized within these statues are living human beings. It was that day, my love, that my heart broke.
Interesting. So she also went here. Entirely possible that's her. Oh, shite. I can afford to just attacking the other guy. Finding way into the palace. Ooh. Can I? So yes, but I don't think that's. Oh, wait, no. If I can make a little bit gold, I could potentially tip the weight, right? Why is it active? Ow. A full powered shot for them to die. More gold.
You're not supposed to be here.
That was the... Everything points to the hold. Yeah, I got it down there. Woo! Oh, fuck me. Okay, cool. So why? Well, if there's any sort of key I can find, I can, Alright, there, a palace key.
My beloved Galatea, after I learned the terrible truth about the golden statues, I wandered the city as if in a nightmare. What must life be like for these poor souls, entombed in gold, but kept alive somehow? Trapped in their own personal Tartarus, consigned to eternal torment, too horrific for any sane mind to comprehend. I tried to offer them what small mercies I could. I began to talk to them, to keep them company. I'd imagine backstories for them, give them names, and tell them of the world, of the histories and stories I'd learned as a child. As the others became more concerned by my charity, I sought solitude from them, preferring the company of my tormented charges. Discovering a way into the abandoned palace, I began to spend my days walking its halls and sharing with its occupants ancient tales, my mind turning to those of Apollo and Daphne, Perseus and Medusa, and Pygmalion and Galatea. Pygmalion, the sculptor who fell in love with a beautiful statue, and who, praying to Aphrodite for aid, discovered that his beloved Galatea had come to life. It was then that I heard you whisper to me, Galatea. Forgive me. I know that is not your real name, just one I have borrowed from a story. But when I turned to look at you, I saw the most exquisitely beautiful woman I have ever known. Your face, forever frozen in a look of haunting sadness. Our meeting gave me new purpose, to free you from your golden prison, so that I might one day hear you speak, not just whisper your true name to me. So I gathered tools for the long and difficult task ahead, barred the doors to this place, and set to work.
Fuck. The turning into gold is really inconsistent. Okay.
Please. Kill me.
Make it stop.
I just... Please. Please. Help us.
Oh, that's for turning a large group of things. There we go.
My beloved Galatea, my attempts at freeing these souls from their golden prisons have not been going to plan. My first charge was a Greek woman who I called Iodame after the Athenian turned to stone by Medusa. Drilling through the gold that encased her, I was vindicated by the discovery that beneath half an inch of gold, which is so rigid it must be some kind of alloy, was living flesh. Unfortunately, this golden alloy seems to have fused with her skin, so removing it exposed the sinew and muscle beneath and appeared to cause her great pain. At first, I braced myself, expecting that inflicting such pain would break the golden rule, and yet, somehow, it did not. It seems whichever god is responsible for imprisoning these poor souls does not care about their suffering at all. They are forsaken. Undeterred, I pressed on, working late into the night, attempting to remove the golden layer that encased her as delicately as I could. Eventually, I was able to free most of her body, but when I released her from her restraints, her first act was to lunge for my throat, clawing at me with all her strength and those sharp metal talons. This was my thanks for trying to save her. Whatever possessed Iodame to attack, she was clearly not a suitable subject for my experiment, and I was forced to lock her inside an isolated wing of the palace and bar the door. As I continued working on others, I could hear her flailing and launching herself at the other side endlessly. Regrettably, my other experiments bore similar results, and after relocating a few times, most of the palace is now too dangerous to work in. Still, as much as my heart aches to know that you're suffering, I cannot risk attempting to ungild you yet. Not until I have perfected a method that will bring you back to me, whole in both mind and body, and ensuring your humanity is preserved. I promise you this. One day we will be together, even if I have to free every last statue in this God's forsaken place.
Yeah, that looks good. Okay. 10 more gold. It is interesting that you just keep everything. I mean, at this point, I could just pay for the 1,000 denarii if I really wanted to, but like, that feels very foolish. It is inconsistent on. It's either like 1 or 2, but. You both come to me, and then we'll. There we go. More blood. Oh, this must be the person she was trying to help, but flayed them alive instead. That's a bit fucked up. Should probably be like, it's a lot of blood. Attempt number 2. It's interesting that this didn't trigger the. Well, this is our,
And you must be the wretched snake who broke into my palace and disturbed my experiments. And worst of all, look at what you made me do to her. This never would have happened if you just stayed away. You're going to pay for that. And do you think I care about that? I don't care what happens to me. Liar! I locked and barred the gate. I left a message warning you all to leave me alone. And now look at her. You made me turn the most beautiful woman I've ever seen into this. Look at her. All I wanted was to spend my last moments with her, to see her beautiful face, to hear her speak freely. But as soon as I began my work, she stopped whispering to me. And now I discovered what's so... What do you mean, the same voice? Yes. I remember when they used to whisper to me. They did sound similar. I just thought it was because all voices sound the same when they whisper. But now that I think about it, they were all benevolent and seemed to share a common knowledge. But if these bodies are mere conduits for that one voice, then this body is nobody. And everything I've done... Wait! You're trying to steal her away from me. Will you Liar! You give me one good... What? What are you talking about? Wait. So you're saying you weren't coming for us? So I did all this. I ruined her. What have I done? Oh God, I feel sick. I can't bear the thought of her being... It's the air. Coming into contact with her flesh. But the only way to fix it will be to break the gold. At least that way she... It's too late. There's nothing you can do. What? Really? I'm not sure I believe you. But if you're lying to me, I'll break the golden rule. At least we'll all be golden together. You did it. You took away her pain. I don't know what to say. Thank you. I swear I will never harm her again. I'll stay here to keep her company. But these poor souls, what can be done for them? I've tried everything. I fear the only one capable of releasing them properly is... In any case, I must honor. The treatment for rheumatism is willow bark. I believe there's a pot of it already in the Shrine of Apollo. Now, please leave. Go.
Alright, let's hit save.
At least we'll all be golden.
The many shall suffer.
So, making somebody gold does trigger. Yeah. So we can get out with that. Oh shit. So if you'd actually entered in the normal way, you would have been doomed, but because I entered in the other way, that was it. So if I just... No, because it has to hit living flesh. Alright. Oh shit, that's a lot of denarius. Temple up here.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring, sir? Ah, another stoic, perhaps. We all need something to help us through times like these. We've all been where you are now. I remember when I first arrived. I used to lay awake at night contemplating the big questions. Why am I here? Is there a way out? What is the Golden Rule, and who or what is responsible for it? I still don't have any of the answers, I'm afraid. I don't think anybody does. But I'm happy to share with you what I've learned. Here, in this place, the magistrate has me earning my keep by cleaning and pruning the gardens. It's not quite how I expected my life to go. I used to live in a lovely villa on the banks of the Tiber. I was even betrothed to a handsome young man from a prominent family. But long hours of menial labor for the good of the community has its own charms too, I suppose. Oh, much the same way as many of the others. When the fires came to Rome 7 months ago, my family and I fled for the Tiber.
Oh yeah, it was...
hoping to escape on a barge.
Either find the gun.
We were among the fortunate ones with enough coins for passage, but a scuffle broke out and I was pushed overboard. The last thing I remember was the water rising up to hit my cheek. I woke up by the... Oh. If you... I'm afraid not. I don't put a lot of... If that... I hope... The many shall suffer. I'd like to think that if we all... But on the other hand, I was always... And that's where I get... You don't think innocent men and women torn apart... If that's true, then sooner or later, things are going... Please keep that to yourself. I know you're not from around here, but there was a terrible fire in Rome last year, and our emperor decided... Oh, thank you. All right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there.
That's the idea.
What? What?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my...
I know things are hard for you right now. Please just think this through. If you do this...
I'm sorry, but I...
Please, help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Thank...
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to fucking stop him from killing himself.
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me? You're not going to trick me. Like what? You're just saying that you must... I'm out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no!
I am.
I can't believe he went through with it. Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. So I guess that means... That was not your fault. I'll have to let everyone know what happened, and I'd best pray for...
Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay, there's something else there. I'll follow him in a second. The voice is like pretty... Pushing us. What? Okay, we can't go there. We...
Thank you. Thank you. I am excited and deeply honored.
Alright. Oh, hello. Yeah. Was there anything else down here? Well, his body's not there, which is odd.
Eggshell, yes. Did you just leap into my villa from
Oh,
the
Quintus.
100 feet above? That was either extremely reckless or impressively clever. Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me? I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory
Quintus.
speech for the election later today.
No, but I think a new person coming in still counts as the death, so we can't send the assassin to kill him.
I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny. By declaring there's no such thing as the... Wait, don't tell me you've fallen... Nonsense! There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already. What? Oh, I see what's happening. I disagree. I'll be guided. True. Of course not. But as I always say, if Sentius... Look, if you're trying to find her, you may wish to check the cisterns beneath this villa. Domitius says he saw a body there. Of course, just to be clear... My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgis. You seem to have confused me with someone else. You mean my heterochromia? I am guilty of nothing more than having different colored, and I'm hardly the only person with the condition. Alexander the Great had it too, as it happens. Well, I am not suffering from any delusions, as today's election will firmly... Unlikely. Why would I with... You...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Alright, so now I can go back in there. Might as well steal more gold on the way out. I think the gold amount actually increased. Oh, shite. Zoop. I don't think she actually currently does anything that triggers the loop of her own. Also, I still have to figure out how to make him fucking drop out. Right, I might mute and call parents. If you save levels. Travel days tomorrow. Oh no, like. Ah. Yeah. Right. I mean, probably. I said to myself. No, it doesn't make sense. It's got a QR code. Okay. It's probably more of a but I will be doing 2 carbon. It's usually a case of if you don't have power. Also, apparently they use US plugs now. Cool. Well, it looks like this. Not this.
Yeah, because I looked at it, I was like, what was E and F? I was like, but it's not recessed. A deep recessed circle all the way through.
Look like. I'm trying to look for my travel Okay, it is European. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I know, it just picture that they showed.
Very much looked like it had to be available. That's why I was like, oh, it's a US plug, where it has like the capability of both. Oh no, the ones I'm bringing are not 320. Hopefully I can still fit in it. How'd I do that?
Yes.
But they did make it.
Well, they are on an airplane to France right now.
Okay.
But I mean, this is one of those hard things, both between the adventure and the fact that they have these, these crazy tickets, and then they're going on to places. Did you see them fly by?
I know.
But they, because they've got like 12 hours in Paris.
I think I've got like 6.
Wait, did you stop it?
I like whoever comes next has to be Olivia. Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. Guys use the but it's, I mean, yes, it is important. Of course,
Yeah, I gotta take a shower, but Sam, I love you.
yeah. I'll probably be going to bed soon as well. Soon because
I mean, honestly, I was thinking about how great
Mom's and mine, you know, shop helper.
yeah, no worries.
I mean, it's just super sweet because I was thinking the funny thing is we are bringing so much because we're bringing like a bed for Lucy.
Yep.
Yep, we've never traveled with ever again. I said, well, it's maybe not many. We're traveling with so much stuff because we had like over 40 kg each we can bring.
Oh yeah, because you're probably 23 each, right? Per bag? Or was it 22?
No, yeah, basically, isn't it? But the funny thing is, like, I'll show you our suitcases. This is nuts. This is how much we're bringing.
Yep.
So
we have an allowance of 45 kilos each.
So like we normally would just bring one big bag each.
Yeah. It'd be funny. Like the funny thing is like Jacob's suitcase is so much bigger than when we were on our vacation together. He had a way bigger one because he had like ones that were like for like snow gear and stuff like that initially.
Sarah and Corey are traveling in carry-ons. I mean, now they have a car seat that they're traveling with, which is huge. Yeah. Which, I mean,
This is
have a friend of ours that's
Yep, see you there.
You're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep, I'll be going to bed soon myself. And I'll show up to work for 4 hours to trigger the. Holiday. Yeah, so we'll know. I also don't know if they'll just immediately. I want to say improvement. Oftentimes, it's usually practically you could. Usually the severance or a pit. Typically be hired. Yeah, most pips usually. So not all pips results in firing, but most pips do.
Wow, interesting.
So if you ever are technically going to be pipped, it's just better to take the severance. Which the severance pay is like usually 4 to 6 months pay. So it's a decent payout.
Yeah. I was asking about Dave, he doesn't know yet. First.
So you don't know yet, yeah.
No, we'll know tomorrow.
Alright. Yep.
And then if that does happen, I have no idea who's my manager for a while.
Yeah, today was, you maximized your holiday, man. Today was the day off, and you're going to go to work tomorrow for 4 hours, and then
Look, you can travel with us if you...
Nope.
That's crazy.
And then I will show back at work next week, Monday. I work for 4 hours, and then. Although, there's some really stupid stuff. The reason the bodies were being quarantined. I think. Like, it's unnecessary. I am looking forward to competent people again at some point.
tiring and they're a little nervous. But so I was very late and was gonna order coffee because it's Eid.
Yeah.
They shut down and Dad was like, "You're not bringing Sammy coffee."
I mean, you're coming again later, so don't worry about it.
I know. I know.
Yep.
But I was like, okay, I technically could have brought just a little bit more. Well,
The good thing is, as well, is if you need to give anything more to Sarah, you can always leave it with me the next time you visit.
that's what I actually.
Some apple and a gallon of water. Share that with Ramsey as well. Ramsey is one of my colleague from Egypt.
Oh, cool.
He's kind of finding it fun that I'm going to be going to.
Did he give you any advice? We've got plenty of advice, but.
Really? You would if I asked more, but I haven't.
Yeah. And honestly, like, where we are staying is very much like going to Wasabi Views. The gated community. It's not like, and I'm thrilled that we're doing it, just because, there are seasons of our life that we need a lot of adventure. Dad and I've had a lot of adventure this last few months. We don't need Egypt in its full form.
I mean, navigating an area that's a different language is its own beast as well. But like navigating Japan was also. I mean, it was interesting to like get through with my broken Japanese, but at the same time, it was super fun.
Oh, totally, yeah.
And at the same time, everything's quite organized well, so like being able to pattern recognize well. Like, there's some people that are like talk about getting lost in certain like train stations. I never got lost.
Oh, that's amazing, Sam.
So
that's so great. Yeah, but I don't know if I told you the Simpsons are going to stay at our house. It's from that carpet.
Yep.
Yep. So their housemate's going to be up here. I said that Bree's mom is going to be here. Bree's mom is going to be in the guest room, and I think Jonathan is over. So they're taking over our house this afternoon.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
How long been there for?
Which is cool. Well, they're staying only just a few days. Then they're going to go stay at a fancy hotel.
Okay, cool. How cold do nights get, by the way?
Yeah. I mean, it may not be the cold hot, but it's
Probably like